Let's.
NFC East team needs.
Is this the most, it's definitely not the best division of football, most consistently entertaining?
Yeah, it's always compelling because these rivalries, there's so much hatred in the rivalries, and there's always just so much drama because of the big media markets and the way the fans are. Their unusual brand of insane. Let's start with last year's division champ, the Cowboys.
Somewhat of a surprise year.
Pretty much set on offense except for that running back thing because Marco Murray left for the Eagles in free agency. And they did sign Darren McFadden.
Run DMC is in Dallas.
I don't think that's the long term.
Probably not.
But that's really the only hole on offense. There is a little bit of a gamble with Tony Romo, a 35-year-old quarterback, and his
He's had back issues, yeah, absolutely.
But they're pretty much set on offense with that fantastic line.
The
with
line
Des
is
Bryant.
so good, yeah.
They're good there. It's the defense that could be the problem. At cornerback, Orlando Scandrick, very, very good. After that,
Slim pickings.
Mo Claiborne, they burned a first round.
Huge, was traded up to get him.
Traded up to get him, and a huge bust. Plus, he's got the torn patellar tendon. They can't afford Brandon Carr, so they're probably going to have to cut him and try to re-sign him for a lower. I don't think it's going to
Linebacker is a huge, huge need for them, especially with the free agents that they've let go.
Lost both Bruce Carter and Justin Durant. Rolando McClain, they're letting go. He saved their defense last year, and they're letting him float out there in free agency.
They have to load up to stop DeMarco Murray at linebacker.
We should note that Sean Lee will be back this year, but again,
you cannot count on 16 healthy games with him.
No. And then let's throw in defensive tackle too.
Yeah.
So Henry Melton left for Tampa, and they really need interior pass rush.
If they could grab like Malcolm Brown, if he fell to the second round somewhere there, I think that'd be a huge win from Texas.
Yeah. Let's go on to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Where you have to figure that they're just 4 to 5 running backs away from fielding an entire
running backs playing offensive line, running backs coaching defensive backs.
Just a couple more running backs, and the Eagles will be set.
All right, what do they need?
No, for real though, wide receiver.
They do.
Let Deshaun Jackson go. Let Jeremy Maclin go. While locking up Riley Cooper for extra years. No, they. Realistically, though, they can't just get Oregon Ducks cast-offs and be like, you can play wide receiver. They're going to have to get a little bit more talent there. Jordan Matthews is good. I don't know if he's number one wide receiver.
He's not number one caliber on a playoff team yet.
No. So I would like to see more talent at wide receiver. Their offensive guard situation. They cut Todd Harrimans. They're trying to unload Evan Mathis, who's one of the best guards in the game. And if they can't trade him, they'll probably cut him.
And if you'll remember, the reason why they were so good 2 years ago is their offensive line. It was not only so good, so healthy as well. So maybe they're trying to get younger to stay healthier.
Possibly. And at cornerback, they had made a big splash with signing Byron Maxwell and Walter Thurmond, your former Seahawks, but that's only too deep. They could really use a nickel corner. And
got to stop that Washington passing game.
And more so than the nickel corner, though, they need a strong safety because they try to stay in the base. They try to stay in their base defense when the offense goes to 3 wideouts.
Right.
So they need a much better strong safety than Nate Allen has struggled and he's gone. They need someone better than Earl Wolf, I think is his name.
Earl Wolf sounds like a name that exists.
Earl Wolf. I love that show in the 80s.
Earl Wolf?
So let's talk about the Giants.
Let's do that.
Jeff Schwartz was a big free agency splash a year ago. Dislocated his toe, only played 2 games. He'll be healthy, or he'll hopefully be healthy this year and lock down one of their guard positions.
A position group they've invested in, not just Jeff Schwartz, drafting Justin Pugh as early as they did.
Yeah, and they weirdly signed John Jerry of Bullygate, who's not that good.
No, he's not particularly good.
So they could probably use a guard, but they, even more than that, need a safety.
Yes.
They only have 2 safeties that are currently under contract, and they're more bottom of the roster.
And the Giants were woefully bad against the pass.
Yeah. So yes, a safety, maybe even a first-round pick on a safety.
It wouldn't. If there's somebody that falls, I don't know if I would grab at 9.
That's right.
Like Landon Collins, that might be a little bit too high. But yes, if maybe trade down to the bottom half of the first round.
Giants trade down.
Do something smart like that. But yeah, the Giants are just get better on defense, and defensive tackle is another position of need.
Awful against the run.
Right.
Highest yards per carry in the NFL last year. They really missed Linval Joseph since he left for the Vikings. And they just, they need somebody
They're going to get Alfred Morris twice. They're going to get DeMarco Murray twice if everybody stays healthy. Whatever it happens in Dallas at running back twice. But yeah, they need to fortify a lot on both lines.
And much like a lesser need, they're kind of like Philly, they're set with their top 2 cornerbacks.
Right.
Their third cornerback, they could use a little depth.
When healthy, they're pretty good starting, but they need all of the defensive back depth they can get.
And let's wrap things up with the old Washington team.
The old Washington team. Who do you have?
Oh boy, man. How about, let's start off with the offensive line.
Yeah.
Right tackle and offensive guard are the big needs. Tyler Columbus is unlikely to be back at the right tackle spot.
Yep.
He was replaced by Tom Compton. I know you're familiar with his work.
Oh, naturally.
Yeah. Rookie Morgan Moses, they're going to need him to improve.
Yep, Virginia.
But and then he's coming off a Lisfranc injury. So those are
So
no
if
problem.
RG3 is the starter, he is uncomfortable with a feel for the pocket. We need a pocket. We need a pocket if we're going to see RG3 finally grow, and they need to invest in the offensive line.
And here's the thing: at number 5 with the 5th pick overall, they're stuck. John Clayton seems to be pretty sure that they're going to go with Marcus Mariota.
Right.
I think it's a little bit early to turn on Robert Griffin.
It is. I mean, there were talk of him leaving last year,
spent
cutting
3
bait.
number 1 picks on him.
That it's rough, and to invest, I would hope that they trade down and get a lot of picks. If they are going to get Marcus Mariota at 5, trade down some other picks, but. Oof, and linebacker, another position. Their defense, their secondary, speaking of bad secondary for the Giants, their secondary extraordinarily bad as well.
Awful against the pass last year, largely because of their safeties, Ryan Clark and Brandon Merriweather.
Yeah.
Clark, not the youngest man, he finally retired.
It feels like Washington just get great players everywhere instead of investing in that one. Trade that 5 pick down and get a bunch.
Yeah. They signed Earl Thomas's backup. In free agency, Jerron Johnson. Maybe they're hoping that he can play, but he's really more of a special teamer.
Right.
Please, Washington, for your
What
own
Washington
good,
has now is more of a special teamers on defense.
For your own good, draft talented defensive players.
That makes
That's
sense
all
to
I want
me.
to see.
Yeah.
Or if they want to continue being bad, by all means, take Mariota at 5 and then maybe a second rounder on another quarterback too.
Please don't draft Marcus Mariota. Set him free.
That is our review of the NFC East team needs, and that is all for this week's episode of Future Consideration. We'll see you next week doing it all over again.